Basketball fans, welcome back. So the women's team placed number one and they brought the title home. I mean, upsetting Egypt, that was actually a very good game to watch in the finals. Last minute heroics. Natalie, she hit that three just to seal the game. And at that point we were down we were down 2 points that time. And it was 19 and 20. And I was so afraid like Egypt were just going to get a quick layup and just score, but Natalie, as the clock was just running down, she hit that three. It banked off the glass and went in. And it just when it just went in, I was man, I was just watching that game live, and my God, it was just an epic moment. And the women finished with a 6-0 record. You can say 5-0. Technically, it was 5-0 because the game versus Nigeria was rendered a walkover, and yeah, that was it. But looking at the performance from the team, I must say, from with like all the things that were happening in training camp and all the things that were happening before, prior to Kenya traveling to Cairo, I initially lowered all my expectations because I saw like there was a huge rehaul of the roster. I was not sure what we were gonna do there. But looking at the first game, it was a blowout against Benin. Kenya versus Benin. That game ended 21-14. So started off quite strong. Had Hilda, she had 7 points. Mercy Wanyama 6 points, 15 boards. Natalie 8 points, 3 rebounds. And if you look at that game, they've played short-handed and they didn't have the services of Medina, but they're able to pull through with that blowout against Benin. Then in the next game they play against Morocco. It was 13-8. It was I can say it was a fairly, easy matchup because I mean Kenya has been beating Morocco all the way from the FIBA Nations League, even with a different roster. At that time we had different players on that roster, and they were able to like do some significant damage to them. Then we had the Kenya versus Madagascar game. Honestly, this game was just fingers crossed. I wasn't sure like the outcome of this game because majority of the times I was just looking at the previous performances, but our ladies did not disappoint, especially Medina. She had 7 points, 8 rebounds. She was actually quite solid together with Mercy. Mercy had 6 points and 12 rebounds. And also Natalie, 4 points, 8 rebounds. Hilda did not have a good game scoring wise. She only had 2 points. And she only scored one field goal, which is a 2 pointer, and she didn't have a good game at that. And the game against Uganda for the semis, that was coming after the 4 wins that we had. And even in an interview, saw Natalie, she was talking about winning the first 4 games so they can get a direct ticket to the semis, which they did. And Kenya versus Uganda was quite close. And looking at even that game, I was just confident in the squad because the way they played, but it was not like one of the easiest games that they had. Given like Medina, she had the worst game. She had 1 point, 7 rebounds, not the best. I mean, she only had 1 point field goal, and she's used to like racking up them stats a lot. But in that game, Masiwanyama just carried the day. She had 7 points, 8 rebounds. She was really productive, and Medina wasn't the greatest at that. And even given Medina was not like contributing that much heavily to the team, they were able to like have a good win in that game. Then the final game, Egypt versus Kenya. Honestly, Egypt, they really dismantled us in the Hammamet games and even in the Nations League. I can say they were the nation that really caused us problems. And this one, I had a question mark at this because we had played against Benin, Morocco, Madagascar, Uganda. They were not at the caliber of an Egypt team. So even when the game was just going on, I honestly just had like my fingers just crossed in this game. I was like, Kenya, if we don't like take care of the basketball down the stretch, make sure to be productive, it will be not it wouldn't be a good look at all. So in this game, Medina had 11 points and 18 rebounds. He actually dropped like very solid numbers, and she bounced back from that game against Uganda. The game against Uganda, she did not play well. And looking at even the performance of the other players, Hilda, she had 2 points. She didn't. She had the not the best game at all. She only scored one 2 pointer. Mercy Onyama, she didn't have a good game. Medina, I can say, carried the day for us. But that buzzer beater that Natalie hit, Natalie only had four points. And looking at even her productivity, you can see she was 2 of 9 from deep. She made a 2 pointer mid game, and the other 2 pointer was at the buzzer. So, yeah, that's the one that went viral. It was posted all over on FIBA. Then when you look at even like the other stats, Natalie was leading with like 5 turnovers. Medina had three. Despite that good performance, you can see Medina had 3 turnovers, but I mean they were warranted because she was getting like a lot of possessions. And I can say Medina, she really really balled in this game. She really went out of her way to try to make sure that we win. So and I was actually surprised why did Natalie win it, because I feel like Medina, she had the best overall performance in all the games that they played. I don't know why Natalie got the award for MVP, and given the fact that she was 0 for 1 on 1 pointers and 2 for 9 from 2 pointers, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I feel like Medina should have been the MVP. That was just my opinion at that, but I was surprised when I saw it, and that's about it. So I didn't have so much expectation when it came to like Kenya, like winning it all, but it happened regardless. And this just covers up like you know, the way the men's team performed. I know the men's team got beat in the quarterfinals. They got beat by Nigeria. There's not much to speak of. I know the game is different between men and women, but the women did not disappoint. And I'm so happy to see us at least win, although like the women's 3x3 has just been exemplary all year round. And even given the fact that it was like the first time that we are seeing these players, like we have never seen Mercy play 3x3, I've not seen Natalie play 3x3 at this scale. We've seen Hilda and Medina. So I've seen Hilda, she played at the Commonwealth Games last year in the 3x3. Even Medina played in the Commonwealth Games, but Medina has been in all the 3x3 assignments from the Hammamet Games. She played in the Nations League, and I covered that, extensively, just talking about that. And so it was just uncharted territory for Natalie and Mercy at this point. But they were able to pull it off. I know it was a gutsy win, the Kenya versus Egypt, and finishing that game strong and just making sure that we were able to just get that and just medal there was a good win. It was a good feeling, and I really enjoyed it. So, of course, I didn't make a video talking about that at the time. I was just just following up things on social media, especially Instagram, just making sure that I captured all the stats there. But I'm very happy to see the women just win these games and just finish out the year strong. So when it comes to like team Kenya basketball, you can see this is where it comes to like a grinding halt for this year, because right now all roads lead to the World Cup to be held in Japan. So and Kenya have booked their ticket there. So I was hoping both the men and women team, both of those teams, like try to do that. But at least the women's team made it. The men, I know it was very difficult for them to do that, and I also addressed that in a video that I'm gonna talk about. So all in all, I'm just excited to see that performance, and it was great. I will be dropping videos, doing with them highlights, some short clips, highlights. I was actually thinking of even covering it like the way I'm used to, like just doing like my overall commentary on the games and doing a watch along, which I might do. So stay tuned for that, and they'll be dropping, I'm pretty sure, this week. And yeah, let's just celebrate Team Kenya. They have made us proud, and this was something that, given like the way they just rehauled the whole, they did a roster overhaul. There was something that really caught me off guard, and really, I wasn't sure what we were doing at the time. But hey, all in all, we have to support the roster that has already been set there. So, and we're able to like win it. So congrats, and we are in it. At least the women, they have balled out and just do the amazing and unthinkable, And as for the men, I'll be looking at them, and I'll just lock onto their performance in the next coming videos. So stay tuned to that. If you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments. If you're watching this on Instagram, make sure follow me on Instagram as well, NBA Kenya. I'll be posting a lot on there. So yeah, man, I'm out. Peace.